The Seoul Subway system is insane. It services over 7 million people per day and 2.6 billion people per year throughout and beyond the entire Greater Seoul area, going all the way up to the North Korean border about 40 kilometers northwest of Seoul, 75 kilometers northeast to the city of Chuncheon in the province of Gangwon-do, which is over halfway across the entire country of South Korea, and then about 85 kilometers south all the way to the city of Asan in the province of Chungcheon-namdo. It's one of the fastest growing subway systems in the world, and extremely affordable to ride, with a base fare of about $1 USD. But it's not always the most straightforward thing for tourists to figure out. And this video is meant to help out with that. So in this video, I'll just kind of simplify it, make it easier, and show you how to ride the Seoul Subway. Let's start out with what you need first, the T-Money card. This can be used on subways, buses, and even taxis in Seoul and all over the country too. The T-Money card can be purchased for 3,000 won at convenience stores or at the vending machines at certain subway stations such as Incheon Airport and other popular tourist subway stations such as Hongik University Station. It can be topped up with cash at convenience stores and the card reloading machines located at every subway station, but it can't be topped up with credit cards for those who are wondering. As of 2023, the base fare for subways are 1,400 won, which gets you up to 10 kilometers, and every 5 kilometers after that is an additional 100 won up to 50 kilometers, and then 100 won for every 8 kilometers after that. For example, if you're riding the subway from Seoul Station to Nami Island, a tourist spot about 75 kilometers away by car, you would only pay 2,400 won or less than $2 USD. As you can see, it's very reasonable. However, there are certain exceptions to that, with the airport railroad being more expensive if you're traveling in between Incheon Airport and Seoul, and the Shinbundang line which adds extra to the base fare depending on where you ride it. Also, children and teenagers receive discounts on subways depending on their age. You can do this by registering your date of birth at either a convenience store or one of the T-Money public service centers at a subway station. Once you have topped up your card with enough cash, scan the card when entering the gates at your departing subway station, and again when exiting the gates at your arrival station. If you exit the gates accidentally or need to use the bathroom located outside the gates, you can scan your card once to leave, and if you re-enter the gates within 15 minutes, you won't be charged extra. Also, you can transfer to a bus for free if it's within 30 minutes after leaving the gate. To find directions between stations, there's an app called Kakao Metro that makes it very easy to navigate Seoul's subway system. It's available in English and Korean, and you just simply select your departure and arrival station, and it'll give you directions on how long it'll take, how much it'll cost, where to transfer if necessary, the fast transfer, which tells you the subway card to ride to transfer to the next subway line the fastest, which can be seen on the ground at the subway station platforms just before getting on the subway. However, the preferred method to find directions is to use one of the map apps in Korea like Kakao Maps or Naver Maps, which are both in English, and use the directions to find out how to get to your destination, just like you would do on Google Maps. This will give you the fastest directions, and can be sorted by only using subways or buses if you prefer that, or you can use both. So to help you out, let's take the subway to Seoul Station from Shincheon Station where I'm currently located. Right now I'm in Shincheon, which is an area close to Hongdae. A lot of tourists come here as well. There's a nice view behind me, and we're gonna go to Seoul Station to see another view. So let's go. I'm gonna use Kakao Maps as it's my preferred app for directions. And you can see it recommends mostly buses to get to Seoul Station from here. However, I want to take the subway, so I'll click on subway, and here you can see it gives me directions only via the subway. It has me going on line number 2 from Shincheon to City Hall Station, and then transferring at City Hall Station to get to Seoul Station. From where I'm at, it has me walking to exit 4, and elevators and escalators can easily be seen on Kakao or Naver Maps if needed, if you require access to them. Now I'll follow my map by GPS to exit 4 of Shincheon Station. And when I arrive at the street level, there is an exit like this with the name of the subway written in multiple languages, the exit number, and the subway line clearly written. The app says I'm taking line number 2, the green line, so I'm on the right path. So let's head downstairs into the station. walk down the stairs into the main plaza area and immediately see the subway line number on the ceiling, along with the stations that the subway is going to. There's also an information booth in the middle if I require any assistance with my T-Money card, or if I've lost an item and I'm coming to find it. And then there's subway turnstiles on both sides of me, with T-Money card charging machines to top up with cash, which are at every subway station. There is also a T-Money card vending machine here, but you see it hasn't been in service for a while, and it's telling me to go to the nearest convenience store, which isn't written in English, so it's good to know in advance that you can buy them at convenience stores too. It's also possible to ride the subway by purchasing one-ride tickets at these machines, but you pay an additional 100 won when compared to the T-Money card, and you pay a 500 won deposit to get the card, which can be refunded at any of the ticket refunding machines found at every subway station. So now I'm all ready with my T-Money card loaded up or one-way ticket, and I need to find the right subway. On Kakao Map, you can see I'm taking line number 2, heading towards Seongsu. And if I want to do a fast transfer, I need to ride car number 1-1. You can follow the signs that are attached to the ceilings to the right line number, but at Shincheon Station there is only line number 2. Other stations like Hongik University have multiple lines, so just follow the signs on the ceiling to get to the right line number until you see the turnstiles for that line. So now that we've found line 2, we're ready to enter the turnstiles. But hang on a second, this is the part where most people get confused, and the most important part of the video, so pay close attention here. At some subway stations, including Shincheon Station, you can only take the subway in one direction after you've entered the turnstiles. Therefore, it's very important to make sure that you're headed in the right direction before entering. And there are a couple of ways to do this. The clearest way to make 100% sure is to find one of these maps located next to the turnstiles, which shows the direction the subway is going in on each side, and the stations it'll stop at. And they're usually located on the pillars or a wall nearby. Since we're taking line number 2 to City Hall Station and transferring there, we need to find City Hall Station on the subway map, which I can't find on this map here, so let's go to the opposite direction. And here we are, City Hall Station. This is definitely the right way, so we know we can enter the turnstiles now if we've confirmed it like this. The other method is what I normally use, but it's a little bit trickier sometimes. And it's to find the right direction by looking at the signs above on the ceiling, where you can see which stations the train is headed to listed next to the line number. We got lucky this time, because City Hall Station is written right on the sign, so it's easy for us to confirm. But let's say I was going to Chungjeongno Station, which is in the same direction, but not written on the sign. Well, in this scenario, I can look at the subway maps on the pillar, or I can look at my phone to see if the direction I'm going in matches up with the stations written on the sign. And once I've finally found the right direction, I enter the turnstiles. Luckily at the majority of subway stations, you can choose your direction after you enter the turnstiles, but it's always a good idea to confirm where you're going before scanning your card, just in case it's similar to this station in Shincheon. Now that we have confirmed we are definitely on the right subway line and going in the right direction, it's time to enter the turnstiles. We can scan our T-Money card or one-way ticket on the little scanner on the right side. Or in my case, my phone, which only people living in Korea can do. Here you can see there's a bunch of stairs, so if you require elevator access to the subway, it's best to seek out the little signs with the elevator on them, which vary from station to station. Typically, if there's a wide turnstile labeled for wheelchair users like this, there will be an elevator to use as well. And if there aren't any turnstiles like this, you'll probably have to look for an elevator located outside the turnstiles down to the subway platform. And it'll usually have its own T-Money card scanner as well. Okay, so now we're going down to the subway platform, which looks like this. You'll see a big glass wall with a bunch of glass doors at most stations that open when the subway arrives. There are usually TV or LCD screens that show you how long the next train will take to arrive. And above the door to the subway, you can see the current station, as well as the previous and the next station that the train is heading to. I always double check here just to make sure that I'm heading in the right direction. And in the case where you're at a station where the train goes both directions opposite from each other at the same platform, you can find the same maps on the pillars like this, just like before, that list the direction the train is heading in on each side. There are also arrows that indicate what type of seats there are inside. The arrows without any markings are for general seats. The arrows with the person with the cane are for the elderly, pregnant women, mothers with children, or disabled. But it's almost only used by the elderly, to be honest. And you shouldn't sit down there if you're younger and physically able to stand. The arrows with the wheelchair are for people with a wheelchair or with suitcases to store them. And in the general seat sections, you can find the pink seats labeled clearly for pregnant women, which you can also see on the glass doors outside. If you have a bike, you can only ride the subway on weekends or holidays on the first or last car of the train. Unless it's a smaller folding bike, then it's always allowed. Okay, we're ready to board the subway. The trains can get really packed, so I recommend avoiding weekday mornings between 8 and 10 a.m. or evenings between 5 and 7 p.m. if possible. And to be honest, Saturdays are pretty packed all day as well, just so you know. You can tell the next station by looking at the screen or listening to the announcements. And the announcements will play in multiple languages, as well as what sides the door will open, and the display will also show the information in multiple languages as well. Now the next station is City Hall, which is a transfer station, and every transfer station plays a song, and the ones in Seoul sound like this.
이번 역은 시청역입니다. 내리실 문은 왼쪽입니다. This stop is City Hall. City Hall. The doors are on your left.
It's now time to get off the subway, and immediately look for the signs for Line 1 to transfer to Seoul Station. Since we took the fast transfer subway, the transfer to Line 1 is right in front of us, and we can see the stations that the train is headed to on the sign, and do another comparison with our subway map to make sure we're going in the right direction. Don't just blindly follow the signs for the subway line number, because there are times when the train with the same line number but opposite direction as your train transfers at a totally different location. So you need to always be confirming the line number as well as the subway direction when transferring subways as well. And you can conveniently transfer to your next train without leaving the subway station, which is absolutely world class in my opinion. We can see the transfer signs for Seoul Station on line number 1 here. So now we can follow them to our transfer platform. And you can see we've arrived at another set of glass doors. And on our app, it says the quickest car number to our exit is either car 1-2 or 10-4. So we can choose to ride one of those cars if we want. We then double check the map or above the glass doors to make sure it's going the right way, and ride the train one stop to Seoul Station.
이번 역은 서울역입니다. 내리실 문은 오른쪽입니다. This stop is Seoul Station. Seoul Station. The doors are on your right. You can transfer to line number 4, Gyeonggi Line, or the Airport Railroad.
Now we've arrived to our final destination, and it's time to find the exit number of the subway station. And we can also see on Kakao Maps or Naver Maps. You can see we need to go out exit 6, and we can see the exit numbers written in yellow at all the subway stations. We just simply follow the signs to exit 6, scan our T-Money card to get out of the station, exit the station, and we have arrived conveniently at Seoul 7017, which is a really nice viewpoint of one of the busiest intersections and bus transfers in Korea, including a view of the old Seoul Station, which was built in 1925 when Japan colonized Korea. Alright, so as you can see, it's not bad exploring on the Seoul Subway. You can go all over the city, and it does take a little bit to learn for sure, but I hope this video helped at least just understand the basics and maybe just to make it a little bit easier for your first time riding. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions or comments about the Seoul Subway. I'd be happy to help answer anything, and yeah, I'll just enjoy the view up here, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much for watching the video. If it was helpful, please press the like button because that helps us out a lot. And if you want to watch similar videos in the future, consider subscribing and joining our Patreon if you have the financial flexibility to do so. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.